package focused on those who have been displaced has now been granted by the center for Manipur.
Well,
What are the headlines? What are some overnight developments
It's mostly
in
in
this?
the internet space where this story has come out, and it is mostly from the MHA that this amount has been sanctioned, and it is for, as you rightly pointed out, for those who have been displaced. Meanwhile, it is being said that Home Minister Amit Shah had in fact asked people to in fact look into the entire security at the camps as well, and also look into the kind of provisions that's to be required, and also to regards to the medical facilities that some of them might be requiring, including medicines, and if need be for treatment, there could be air services available as well. So this is what Amit Shah has in fact said, and probably following it up on that, we have this package that is coming up, almost 102 crores for the people who have been displaced by this. Meanwhile, last week, Amit Shah has also in fact directed the state government to send a formal request to the center for a relief package for people from all communities affected by the violence and forced to relocate. So he asked them to go further on this as well, to ask for more on the relief package front.
And you know what? People tend to get a little, passionate, emotional. They get really angered in the chat box, and I can clearly see how the communities are fighting amongst themselves. But the idea that, the Home Minister visits Manipur and his visit is magically going to do something that's going to, placate both communities and things are going to finally be all right, that doesn't really happen. I mean, you'd expect your Home Minister to visit Manipur when it is in a burning condition like this. But that does not mean that his visit is going to be the bottom line of everything, becoming okay. He doesn't have a magic wand that he's going to go there and, just wave it around, things are going to be okay.
He has been
He went down there, he spoke to both the communities, he visited both the relief camps, he understood what the problem was, he had a proper dialogue with both the communities, he came back and he set the ball rolling. It's the MHA that has granted this 102 crore rupee relief package, isn't it? I mean, there are works that are happening behind the scenes.
Well, there is a lot of work that's happening behind the scenes. There is a huge troop movement also that has been reported in Manipur. 20,000 Jawans are on the ground. And while talking about troops, Kabir, let me bring from the Indian Express a very, very important observation that has been made by the BSF. Now, this is what the BSF said. Precision shot from distance. Officers flagged worry over BSF Jawans' killings in Manipur. A week before the BSF Jawan was killed in Manipur's Gakching district on Tuesday, a similar killing of another Jawan from the force took place in the border town of More, just ahead of Union Home Minister Amit Shah's visit to the violence-hit region. But the more concerning for the security establishment in Manipur is the manner in which they appear to have been killed. Pinpoint firing from a distance, which is to say that it was complete with accuracy, and they knew how to in fact use that gun and use it well. This is the concern that has been raised by the BSF on the ground. Two people have been killed, two BSF Jawans have been killed in the recent firing that has happened. One, of course, we have recognized as Ranjit Yadav. He was on sentry duty at Soror Practical High School in Sungu and was shot dead by suspected Kuki militants. That is what the Manipur police is in fact saying. Now, this is come as a shocker because this shows that there are well-armed people out there who know how to use their rifles. And Kabir, that's what I've been saying, that they have
not
to
just use them, they're unwilling to give
up those rifles as well. So this shows that precision shooting, in fact, just shows how dangerous it is for the Jawans as well on the ground. And this is something that's been flagged off by them. Also, there has been an explosive that has been thrown at MLA's house. This is again in the network, in the Express network, in the Indian Express paper. It is mentioned that an explosive device was thrown at the house of BJP MLA S. Kebi Devi in Imphal West on Thursday evening. The first time MLA from Noria Pak, I'm pronouncing it wrong, I think, but anyway, was home at that time. While the IED exploded, no injury was reported. Police sources said that the bomb exploded at the gate. Again, there are what the MLA is saying is that I don't know the motive. I have done nothing wrong. Moreover, at times when people are reeling under hardship, I have strongly condemned it. This is what the MLA said. Sources say that the IED was not a timer device. An eyewitness claimed to have seen two persons drive by a two-wheeler and lobbing it. So this is another attack on a politician. We have seen houses of politicians being burnt in Manipur. Now it's a continuation of that kind of violence. And then you have an explosive now thrown at first-time MLA's house.
No, certainly. You see, the arms are still with the people, with the militant groups. They're still intact with them. That's one of the concerns of the army as well, that almost all arms of the Kuki militant groups are still intact in camps. This is a statement that has come out from the army. Meanwhile, looking at this 102 crore package, I mean, for a change, I just want to focus on the positives that's coming out of Manipur. The government has approved a 102 crore rupee package. It is for those that are displaced in Manipur. Almost 40,000 people have been displaced in Manipur. There's also a picture here in the Indian Express. It's about a crowd at a medical camp that was organized by the Assam Rifles for those affected by the Manipur violence, which was carried out in Imphal. Now, almost all weapons of the Kuki militant groups that are part of the suspension of operations, the SOO, many call it SOO, agreement in Manipur, remain intact in their designated camps. This is from the army officers familiar with the matters that have come out and said on Thursday. Their statements came even as combing operations, the visuals of which that you're seeing on your screens. Combing operations to recover arms and ammunition looted from police stations and armories continued in the violence-hit state. At least 102 people have been killed, over 300 injured, and nearly 40,000 displaced, like I was iterating earlier, in Manipur since the 3rd of May, when ethnic violence erupted in the northeastern state between Methi and Kuki communities. Now, Varghese, the bigger question is, and perhaps the biggest question of the day, is this headline, this particular statement, I mean, the word of it goes far beyond this, far beyond the action in a sensitive case like Manipur right now. 102 crore rupee package for those displaced in Manipur. Will it act like the balm it is intended to act like?
Well, it's kind of an immediate relief, but not the relief that we'll be looking at, because it is an immediate relief to ensure that the essentials are supplied to the camps and to the displaced people from all ethnicities. So that would be something that we'll have to wait and watch as to what could be the real situation that people want us to see. But Kabir, to be very honest on how things are moving right now, there seems to be the issue about violence still escalating. It's not yet down. Then there is the issue about well-trained people who know how to use their weapons, who are still there, and they are having those weapons, and the forces could be targeted. The very people who we are relying on to bring in some kind of order, some kind of semblance of law and order in the state, they can be targeted in this. So it's not going to be a very easy task that is going to be cut out right now with all these complexities, with weapons on the ground, with the entire what we call the explosive kind of an attack that we saw with the MLA's house. All this coming out in the open, it just shows that the situation is such that they are in fact trying to ensure that there seems to be an interest group for this violence that keeps on going on a cyclical period. So I think we just have to stop it with it.